That's right, it's Mama and Dada. Good job. Here's Tinkerbell. Hey Rowan, bye-bye. 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 Hey friends, I just got into work. Today I am doing some experiments, so I will show you what it's like to spend a day in the lab. I usually start my morning just checking my calendar, checking emails, and responding to anything that I need to respond to. And I also work on some administrative work, like making sure I'm prepared for any meetings or ordering any reagents that I need. My experiment days are usually pretty fast-paced because my experiments generally take about 8 hours, so I really have to be efficient in order to get everything done that I have to get done before I need to head home. That being said, let's jump right into it. Okay, I'm getting ready to start my experiment. Today, I'm going to be looking at vesicles, which are little packets of information that cells basically release into the area around them. And because different cells have different proteins and different markers inside of them, the vesicles also have those proteins and different RNAs and DNAs and all the different components that the cell has. These little packets of information that they're sending also have. So what I'm doing today is I'm trying to basically stain those vesicles with different colors to look at different markers that are inside of them. And I'm comparing vesicles from healthy people to vesicles from people who have a disease. So what I have here are 2 healthy subjects, 2 patients, and I'm going to add some dye to them. See how pink and pretty they are. This is my favorite dye to use because it's so pretty. Anyway, now we incubate for an hour. And eventually at the end of the day, we're gonna put these labeled packets of information onto cover slips like this one. So that we can look at them with our microscope. I'm gonna give you a little preview to see what it actually looks like when we're imaging these samples. So you can see a little bit of the setup of how our microscope is, but also how the vesicles actually look like when we're imaging them. This is what my bench looks like in the middle of an experiment. Adam's over here doing stuff.
This is my bench. Even when I'm not doing experiments.
Truth.
Just a disaster.
At the end of that last clip, my camera of course ran out of battery, but generally at the end of my days, I go back to the office, check some emails, respond to anything that's urgent, work on any paperwork or administrative tasks that I have before heading home for the day. So that's the end of my work day in the office. And let's head on home. So I just got home from work. Once I get home, generally Rowan is sleeping. She's taking her second nap right now. So I have until about 4 p.m. to kind of do something for myself. And sometimes I choose to work during this time. For example, tomorrow I have a presentation that I have to do, but I haven't had enough time to work on it at work yet because I've been doing so many experiments. So for the next hour or so, I'm going to analyze some data and put together some figures for slides for that presentation just before Rowan wakes up. And that way I don't have to worry about it or do anything when she's actually awake. Once Rowan gets up from her nap, generally I'll take her to the park or meet up with friends and just hang out and play with her.
And this is kind of my favorite time of day. It's really my one-on-one time with Rowan. I'm able to work this shifted schedule because of the COVID restrictions that we had in our building. The COVID restrictions were basically that there were a limited number of research staff that could be in the building at any given time. And that meant that some people were working from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. or for me, like 7:30 to 3:30. And then another cohort of researchers would come in the afternoon and work into the night. And obviously that's not ideal for some people, but for me it's worked out amazingly well because I'm able to start work early in the morning, which is my favorite time of day to get work done anyway. Billy takes Rowan for a couple hours in the morning. Then our nanny will come, and she's just amazing. So she comes at about 9, and then I relieve her at 3:30, and the rest of the evening I'm basically on mommy mode. So until Rowan goes to bed at about 8. I do just want to say that I feel incredibly fortunate to be able to have the schedule that I have right now. I think COVID has really changed things for working moms in a lot of different ways. And I know that a lot of my colleagues who are able to do more computer work have struggled immensely during COVID. But since I'm in the lab and my husband and I are in a position where we can afford to have in-house daycare, it has just made my life functional. And this schedule works really well for us. It works really well for me. I love being able to come home and have dedicated time to just spend with Rowan. And I feel like I'm able to be really productive at work because of this. I hope you've enjoyed this day in my life so far.
After I'm done, okay? I promise.
There you go. It's about 8 o'clock now, and Rowan just went down for bed. I'm gonna change into something a little bit more comfortable and work on my thesis for a couple of hours, and hopefully get to bed at about 10:30. So here we go.
I know times are tough, but I've had enough. I'm moving on.
Okay friends, that's a day in my life. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm planning on posting new videos every week, and this one will hopefully come out with a few other videos that I'm gonna start my channel off with. So I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and like the video. Come back every week. Okay, bye.